Boom. Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, Crypto and Chill. And with me as always is Jeff from the Blockchain Report. How's it going, brother?
Good. Having a nice Friday. Pretty chill. Still cranking on these taxes, these crypto taxes. So it's been, it wouldn't be so bad if the website, it gets kind of laggy. So I'll try and organize certain transactions, and then it'll wipe what I did. And it's a pain in the ass. The interface it's not the greatest, but yeah, we're making progress. You cooking up some veggies, I hear?
Yeah, I'm cooking up some veggies, and I got some stuffed jalapenos wrapped with bacon, roasting in the oven. So yeah, I got something delicious for after the show. But yeah,
what are they stuffed?
What's that?
What are they stuffed with? The jalapenos?
Just like cheese and stuff like that. But me, Jay, and Ellie have been playing that Arc Raiders. That's kind of what inspired the thumbnail. Was we've been jamming out at that like for most of the day today, and then Ellie distracted me. But yeah, no, we gonna be playing after the show.
Oh hell yeah! Are you guys streaming, or have you guys been streaming it?
Actually, yeah, maybe she might. We've been trying to grow her channel on the arena, and freaking yeah, she's like already starting to take off. So
hell yeah! Now, can you play with the keyboard and mouse, or do you have to have a controller?
If you get it for the console or for the PC, you can probably play. But I've been playing with Xbox Cloud. And so I have to use an Xbox controller. I wish I could use a mouse and keyboard. I could play a lot better that way. Freaking my old hands, you're trying to use thumbs and stuff, man. It like sucks.
Yeah. Well, man, you remember the original Xbox? Like the controller was huge. I mean, they had problems with kids not being able to play because the controller was huge.
I remember I always liked the PlayStation controllers better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they had a nice one. Okay.
Well, do you want to introduce a little bit of our socials, and we'll just kind of kick on into this and get this ball rolling?
Yeah, let's get this rolling ball started.
Let's see. Let me see what I got going on.
Let's throw this up right here. So happy Friday, everybody out there. Welcome to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, the Crypto and Chill edition, where me and Mike go live on Tuesday and Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, for our Crypto and Chill show. There's also other shows throughout the week. Mike goes live with traditional finance expert Texas Jeff and estate lawyer Taylor, and they talk about traditional finance for Money Talks on Mondays. David and Jake call for the DeFi Masterclass on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific. And we've been having a great kind of not crypto related talks on Thursdays with the Red Pill, just all kinds of base topics and current events. So that those are some interesting conversations, and have a bunch of different guests on. So it's a lot of fun. Some exclusive interviews that we're dropping. Check out the interview with Shal Kafir. That's his name, Shal Kafir from Canton or
Mhm.
Canton. Canton has been
Or
pumping.
however you wanna pronounce it.
Canton, Canton, potato. Yeah, great interview. So check that out. And Mike's DeFi High and DeFi Academy. The DeFi High is kind of the continuation of that, where David and Mike go live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific for this DeFi High entry level DeFi
Mhm.
classes, and it's been really valuable to learn all
Well
that stuff.
well,
And
basically, what all we're doing is we're just going through the free course material that he offers on, DeFiUniversity.yz.
mm,
He
mhm.
basically the entry level is called, DeFi High, and then he has DeFi University, which is the, intermediate and advanced. And so really, we're just going through the lessons and, just kinda as we're going through, like, we'll stop the course material because there's a lot of videos and things like that. And me and him just kind of break things down and explain things further, just to make sure that everybody understands it. But yeah, it's a great way. It's a great way to learn. If you've ever thought about getting into DeFi, but just it was just too big of a leap. Because most of the people out
Mhm.
there at such a high level that it's not approachable for most people. So we try to break things down super simple, just go down to the kind of the roots of it and explain, what all those, the different terminology. Like if you listen to some of these people and they start talking about, looping and delta neutral positions and gamma and you know theta and all these different, the Greeks, and you're like, what the hell are they fucking talking about? So, we were walking through.
Yeah, and like Mike was saying, the DeFi University, it is free. So come and check out. There's like 5 courses, a bunch of interactive tools and quizzes. Um, the only thing that's paid for is the daily live mentorships, which you don't have to join, but it is 97 a month for Monday through Friday, 2 hours a day. And they go deep into fundamentals, portfolio clinics, and, pretty much access to David directly, ask him questions. And so, yeah, he's very, very knowledgeable. But start with the free stuff like Metrics Finance with Jake Call. It's a DeFi portfolio tracker and simulator, and it is free to start just to see if you can get any value from it. If you do, you can bump up to the yearly or monthly subscriptions. And also check out Mike and Taylor's DeFi Wise newsletter. Goes out Monday through Friday, early before the markets, traditional finance markets open. It's a little under $20 a month, and they set ranges, get alpha market sentiment and stuff for you, so you don't have to go searching for it. It's right there when you wake up and get you ready for the day. Check out Mike at Veteran for Crypto. And if you're on Twitter, jump over to the Arena. If you don't have an Arena account, you can sign up using your Twitter profile. So that way it links on here and you don't have to worry about setting up another one. It's pretty much like a Twitch meets Twitter meets YouTube. They got streaming, they got spaces. They got, you can post. They have applications on here. They have an app store with all kinds of, they have, they integrated VDEX, which is a perpetual exchange. You can trade all kinds of different cryptos and gold and silver. So check it out, and give us a follow. And the chat over here has been blowing up. So it's been awesome to see. I'm also on the Arena as well. And I'm on Twitter, the BCR142. So yeah, the Arena definitely been a great place for creators, because even the couple of streams that I've done, with my DJ stuff has gotten over 100. So, and I don't have a big following. So it's been pretty cool.
All right. Well, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, I will say one thing about the the airdrop game. There's been quite a few projects that have been launching airdrops. One of them, I don't know if anyone's heard of Moonbirds. And I've been able to claim some of these airdrops, but it's like 15 or $20, a piece. So nothing too crazy, but just some things to keep on your radar. Moonbirds has been around for a little while, but I'm really wondering what these projects have in store for the tokens. It looks like they do have their stuff integrated in a game, so maybe their token will be used in the game like the other side. But
Mm.
Drew was saying this on the blockchain basement, like projects that launched a token, but you don't really see any use case or utility, like Arkham. The tracks all the portfolios or wallet
Yeah.
tracker and stuff. You can check like why does that project need a token? Another one
Well, I mean,
was
you can do everything on was it Arkham? I forget the website, but
Intelligent.
basically, yeah, Arkham Intelligence. It's
Yeah.
basically like for data, and you can do everything on there without having to use the token or buy the token. So yeah, I mean, I know that Drew's talked about that, where it's it's like, what's the incentive to buy the token if you can do everything on the website without the token?
Yeah. Yeah. And this kind of super app, Infinex, it's a portfolio. They have perpetual exchanges or perpetual exchange. They just launched their token. And I think it's trading at like 1 or 2 cents. But I don't I don't know why they would need a token. It's kind of some of this stuff just seems like a liquidity grab in a way. I mean the wallet portfolio thing is great. They have vaults and stuff that you can kind of lock your crypto in.
Mhm.
And you have to have, I think you have to have a code or something to swap stuff to move stuff out of it. So if your account gets compromised, um, but I don't know why some of them are launching tokens when, oh, who was it? There was one project that said that we are like not going to launch a token because there's no need. Like it's just they're going to reward creators. Oh, the Tater Trader. It's kind of like this, but with better features and stuff. But they said they're not going to launch a token because they don't have a need to launch a token because their product works without it. Like you can use it without a token, and they're not just going to launch one just because everyone else is doing it. They're finding other ways to reward users and stuff. So I think that's a better way to go. Um, yes, and especially with the whole InfoFi kind of dying out, that's there's been a lot less spammy posts on
Mhm.
Twitter. So I've been really pleased to see that because man, you got people that don't even use these projects that getting paid, thousands of dollars for not doing shit but talking about it. And it kind of dilutes, the whole process and crushes normal people that don't have big followings that actually use these projects and protocols. But yeah, it's interesting to see the shift from just a couple years ago. Because the
Yeah.
Arbitrum, that airdrop was so great because they gave they gave you kind of a score. Like if you had so many transactions on their network or so much volume bridged into the network, they would give you, a certain amount. And I think after that, people started gamifying all the other networks and just uh, making transactions just to get your numbers up. So I think that's why a lot of projects moved in different directions. But those were some good airdrops. Optimism, Arbitrum. I got several thousand off of those, but now it's you're
What's
lucky.
the what's the airdrops been like? Just kind of since let's just say like October 10th. Just that shit show. Kind of what's been going on since then? Because it doesn't seem like I've really heard about any major airdrops. I mean, we've had
Um,
on Aerodrome, they had a couple of ignition, launches, and if you voted for those pools, then you got a bit of an airdrop. But as far as like actual airdrops, like what have you seen going on lately?
Not really anything, because a lot of projects didn't want to launch when market sentiment was bad and everything was kind of bleeding. Um, you have you had the InfoFi stuff where they will award or
I'll be right
reward
back.
creators for sharing their posts and stuff, but even that, they didn't really give any big airdrops um, at all. But now you're starting to see more projects. Like there were three, yeah, Infinex, the Moonbirds, and I think my Moonbirds airdrop was like $30. Um, and this Infinex one is maybe like $5. I've seen some other people that got several $100s from this one, but it just hasn't really been a lot. There's another one that's dropping in the next week. Warden Protocol. They just had their registration close, so they're starting to ramp up, but the amount of airdrops that we'll get from this, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. Yeah, and there was one project that I got an airdrop from over the summer last year, and it kind of killed the project because they locked everyone's tokens for 2 years. So you won't get any of the tokens for 2 years. So
That sucks.
like, well, what the fuck? And I think I have like 80,000 tokens at like I don't know what they're at right now. I think a few cents. So I think it's like $8,000 that I have just locked up for 2 years. Oh no, it's half a cent. Yeah. That's how bad the
Trying to find, man, it is like just fucking dead. There is like the only news that I'm seeing about crypto is shit about Canton Network, which I mean we've already talked Canton to death, and like KETA, KTA, it's actually been doing relatively well compared to the rest of the markets too. They bought a bank a couple of weeks ago, so I know that was kind of bullish news that it's been riding. But
Do you know what bank
today,
they bought?
I can look it up real quick. But today it's actually down 17%. But yeah, Canton just keeps on fucking climbing. It's at 18.5 cents right now.
Damn. Yeah, I think since that interview,
Yeah.
just been crushing it. Funny enough. Let's see.
Yeah, we did that kind of, cup and handle that giant cup and handle, and then it's just kind of been not like parabolic, but just kind of slowly creeping up. Yeah, you got it pulled up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just got that, kind of cup and handle formation, and it's been ticking its way up. I mean,
How's the,
shit. Oh, go ahead.
how's the Braun wallet been doing for you?
I mean, it's been earning. Let me pull it up real quick. I've earned about 1,000 or 1,500 CC tokens.
Okay.
Let's see. But yeah, what is Canton at as far as ranking is by market cap? It is now number 16, right behind Chainlink. It
Dang.
flipped it flipped Zcash. It flipped Stellar XLM, Sui Avalanche, H bar, like all those, and doesn't need to gain a whole lot before it flips Chainlink.
Jeez.
So yeah, we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, it's one of the
So is that Kita
few.
Bank? Is that Kita
What's that?
Bank? Is it going to be a neo bank, or they actually bought a bank?
I need to actually look deeper into that. Yeah, let me do some research real quick on that. Actually, you know what? Let's fucking pull up Miles.
Oh yeah.
We
Hey
haven't we haven't
Miles.
we haven't used Miles in a minute. Let's see what's up with Miles.
Yeah, man.
Michael?
Hey, Miles, how's it going?
Not bad, just chilling here, ready to chat. How about yourself?
Oh,
Anything interesting happening today?
yeah, no, we got some stuff going on, but we're live right now with Jeff and the audience, and we were wanting to ask you about Kita Network. Are you able to
Hang
see
on,
that online?
gotcha. Yeah, it looks like there are a few different things that come up when you search Kid Network. There's a kids development center in Orange County, a
No,
child care center.
no, it's we're as usual. We're talking about crypto. It's Kita Network, and they just bought a bank, and we were wanting to ask you about some details about that acquisition.
Not a Somali daycare.
Yeah, okay, my bad. Kita, Kita, and they bought a bank. Wow. Okay, let me pull that up real quick. One sec. All right, so it looks like Kita Network, payment public chain, apparently is acquiring a bank. They're using 35 million KTA tokens, which comes out to around $9.66 million to fund the deal. Seems like they're trying to get legit, integrate with the traditional financial system and get the licenses they need. It's still pending regulatory approval, so it's going to be a minute.
Yeah. No, they haven't named it yet. It's been unnamed.
Okay. So no, it's one thing that, and I know this is something that a lot of well, not a lot of projects, but a lot of projects in DeFi and that are trying to do the cross-border remittances and payments. XRP's been doing it. Ripple, I should say, has been doing it, and it looks like Kita's kind of following suit with that. Where a lot of these different platforms, you have Moonwell. Moonwell kind of acts as a bank. They have a card, and you can have an account there. You have EtherFi that David uses. You have Coinbase that you can direct deposit, your account there, and do DeFi. Who else? There's a couple others, but it's this is something that probably next week on Monday or Tuesday with DeFi High that it's one of the lessons that's coming up in DeFi High And it's basically we're going to talk in depth about neobanks. And so if you don't know, neobanks are just they're a decentralized bank is kind of the best way to explain it. And what it does is it allows you to take control of your money and your liquidity. So traditionally, in traditional banks, you deposit your money and they give you basically an IOU. It's a bunch of numbers on a screen on your app saying, we owe you this much money. And, of course they can, they can lock it, to where you can't take it out. They can do a lot of stuff with that, but they lend it out to, borrow it out to people and charge interest and, do a bunch of other things with it. And if you're lucky, they might share like a 0.5% of that with you. But in DeFi, you're able to, take your money. And I know SoFi is another, kind of traditional finance organization that's, getting involved in this. They're considered a neobank. But what they're doing is it allows you to earn on your money, and not just like a 0.5%. We're talking like 6-7%, and sometimes even more than that. So it's kind of why I'm always kind of nudging people to learn DeFi, because if you can learn DeFi, it's not that complicated. Even if you don't get involved in liquidity pools, even if you don't get involved in the more advanced strategies, there is super simple things that you can do to where you can at least keep up with the devaluation of the dollar. If there's 7 to 10% that you're losing in buying power per year because the government keeps printing, you can take your savings, you can put it in a relatively, safe position to where you're just basically holding it in an account. And just by holding it in that account, you're able to earn yield. And again, it might be 5%, it could be 7%, it could be 15%, but at least you're earning something on your money while it sits there. I mean, if it's going to be sitting dormant, why not earn with it? So that's why I'm always kind of nudging people, just, saying, you don't have to get, involved in these, crazy advanced strategies and to get started. All you need to do is get a toe in the door, onboard some liquidity, try out, just, lending or just holding it in account and earning, and then, start getting a feel for how it all works. Because that way, as your knowledge grows, you have that liquidity there to where you can start using bits of it to, maybe put it in a full range, liquidity pool to where you're always earning yield. And if you're investing in crypto, I mean, you might as well. I mean, if you can take your Arrow or you can take your Bitcoin or your Ethereum and you can put it in an account and it's just going to earn you a couple of percent, why not? I mean, if you have it, sitting, you're hodling it anyway, earn some free fucking tokens.
Yeah. I mean, what's it doing in your bank account? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. If you can earn a little bit, it's like what was that? I think it was Bank of America that started it. They would round up on every purchase and deposit that into your account. So if you spent like $1.30 at the store, they would take 70 cents and then deposit that into your account. So like, I don't know, it was kind of a way of saving,
incentivizing people.
Yeah, incentivizing people. But shit, they don't offer shit, man, and all these fees that they
Coinbase. I mean, I've been using this Coinbase card now for, I guess it's been about like 2 months or something like that. And I'm just, I basically just put all my bills, all my utilities and my, whenever I get groceries and go get gas, I just use that card. It's all stuff that I was buying already. And but now I get 2, 3, 4% back, and I get it paid in Bitcoin. So now with Bitcoin being down, I'm making potentially even more, because when Bitcoin goes back up, if I'm making like $100 or $200 a month in Bitcoin, if it doubles in value, then, that $100, retroactively becomes $200, and, so on and so forth. So I'm just using all of these different, ways to, just quietly stack more crypto while these markets are down, because this is the time that you want to stack. I mean, you don't want to be stacking at the top, because when you're earning, think of it as DCAing, dollar cost averaging,
Yep.
with your own money, with your own cash. If you're doing that, you're not going to, try to buy the tops all the time. You want to be buying at the bottom, so that when the price goes up, then, your $100 or your $200 turns into 200 or 400. So it's the same when you're earning with DeFi. When the markets are down and you're in a bear market, that's when you want to be stacking. That's when you want to be earning, because if you're earning, say, $300 a month across all of your DeFi, if, all of your assets go up by 2, 3, 4, 5x, all of that time, like if you were stacking like for 4 years during a bear market, all of the crypto that you stacked, all of that time, it's going to go up in value, because, you're holding it in those assets. So, I don't know. That's why I just love DeFi so much. Is if the market's up, if the market's down, if the market's, boring and going sideways, there's a strategy, and it doesn't have to be super complicated. It can be a very simple strategy of, like I said, just onboarding your fiat onto Coinbase, into USDC. You can buy USDC for free on Coinbase. You can send it anywhere you want off of Coinbase for free, because of the agreement they have with Circle. But holding it on Coinbase, I think last time I looked, it was like 5% or just shy of 5%, just for holding it there. There's little to no risk, and you're earning 4 or 5% just letting it sit there. Why would you let it sit in a bank where you're not earning anything?
Yeah, and once we start learning more about the neobanks, I mean, if it looks like a viable option, and a safe option, because I know sometimes Coinbase, it might lock their users out, in market volatility. So in case you need to pull some funds out if the market goes crazy or make a trade, it's just that would be the only concern that I would have. But yeah, getting to learn more about the neobanks and a way to unplug. And I know David was going hard last night on the, just fuck the banks, and like,
oh yeah,
we got to figure out a way to transition, like having the steps, because we are, like in Gina's situation, you can't just like full port into the neobanks, and then, we got to figure out a good way to transition into that and still be able to pay our stuff and bills and everything. And I mean, I went through something similar when I cut off all my Google accounts, 5 years ago. I moved from Google to Proton Mail and did all the encrypted stuff, but it took like 6 to 8 months for me to get all my accounts, transferred over and taken off from Google, and all my the Google Drive, all the documents and shit that I had. So it was a process, man, and it wasn't overnight. So
oh, hey, what up, Josh?
Oh, Josh, what's up?
Man, hey, Josh, reach out after the show. I'd love to catch up with you, brother. But no, but that's, I mean, but that's what's important is, like we were talking last night, is it, yes, in a perfect world, it'd be great to just, debank and, go to these neobanks and, not have to, deal with the traditional finance system. And it's just, it's for the majority of people, it's just not something that they can do, to that extent. You can start to work towards that, but, most people, they need to make sure that they have a decent credit score. You have to play, that system until you can get to a point to where, you're like myself, or you're like Jay, or, you're like David, where, you're further on in life, and I don't have to worry about a credit check and I have awesome credit because you never know when you're going to need it, but I don't really use it because I don't, deal with other than the Coinbase card, which I didn't need a credit check for. Um, I don't really utilize credit. So but again, most people, if they're going to go buy a car, there's going to be a credit check. If you're going to get an apartment, there's going to be a credit check. If
Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Exactly. Because if anything ever happened, like if just for some reason I found myself to where I needed to go and get a loan, or I needed to get a vehicle, or my house burned down and I needed to go get an apartment for a while it was rebuilt. I need to have decent credit to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, we were talking about the neobanks the other day. I don't know if you caught it, but David and Mike are going to cover neobanks on Monday's episode next week. On their DeFi High Monday morning. So they're going to start getting into that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It should be good because I mean it's definitely something I would highly suggest people learn about and start working towards, because again, you can earn a lot more, holding your liquidity there. And it also gives you a lot more flexibility because like David was talking about, whenever you travel overseas, it's a lot easier, like, not having to deal with ATMs and ATM fees and things like that. Cause banks charge all kinds of crazy fees that a lot of people don't realize that they charge. They have maintenance fees on some accounts. They have, the ATM fees that I just mentioned. They have, transfer fees, inactivity fees. They just have all these overdraft fees and fees and fees. I mean, they're just as bad as the government. So with these neobanks, they don't have a lot of those fees that people have just kind of gotten used to, and they don't have a lot of the limitations. So if you're overseas, and you're wanting to buy go out to dinner, or you want to get a hotel room, whatever, it makes it a lot easier to be able to do those things. So it's something I'm working towards. I haven't gone full full neobank yet, but I'm kind of waiting. I want to see some sort of, like how banks have FDIC insurance to where like up to $250,000. The only place that I know of is Uphold. It's a centralized exchange, and they actually are a bank. And your assets that you hold on there, you're insured up to $250,000. So if they get hacked, if whatever happens, you're covered, with that insurance. And you can do multiple accounts. You can so like if you have more than $250,000, you can create multiple accounts, and each account you're covered up to $250,000.
Smart.
So, it really is worth your time to learn about, DeFi, and, just even at a very rudimentary level, like we're talking about right now. Again, if you're not going to get involved in liquidity pools, if you're not going to, ever, try to lever up and take more risk and do looping, and, if you don't want to get into Pendle with, YT and PT, and, just all these different, strategies to where you can, take out a loan and then use that to go and I won't get into that. But yeah, I mean, like where are you at? I mean, have you tried any of the kind of DeFi neobank stuff yet, or?
I did sign up for EtherFi. That was the one. It was like a few months ago, just to create my account, but I haven't deposited anything. I actually might, you know what? That would be good to take one of these little airdrops that I got. It's like $20 and move it over just to get the ball rolling, to feel it out and see how it is setting up, or depositing, because that's honestly what you want to do with anything like getting started in DeFi. That's what I did with liquidity pools. start out small and just kind of see how things work. That way you're not risking tons of money, in case something happens and you're like, oh fuck, how do I even withdraw certain things? Because I know on projects that I use for airdrop farming, I'll deposit something in an account and then it's like, oh, where's the withdraw button? And you have to go through different fucking settings and windows, and
there's David.
Oh,
David,
shit.
my name's Jeff.
The DeFi Don was just like, where's David Z anyway? Oh shit, that's so funny.
DeFi Don said, should be me and David on there too. Yeah, no, if you want to come on sometime, DeFi Don, we can have you on, have you and David and me and Jeff.
Yeah, fill it out. Yeah, EtherFi. Actually
Tuesday, if you guys want, for Crypto and Chill, we could have you guys on. And actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's actually make the topic neobanks.
Yeah.
Type a 1 in chat, David and DeFi Don, if you're down on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. Doing a Crypto and Chill episode, and we'll just go in depth about neobanks. David says he likes it. Yes, DeFi Don, you can drink. You can drink.
Yeah, we're no prudes here.
You can drink. You can smoke. If you want to sit there in a GIMP mask, whatever, man. No judgment. No judgment.
YouTube, it depends on what you smoke, and YouTube might not like it, but we won't judge.
Oh yeah. Good call. Good call.
But we're not monetized, so they I think the arena is pretty fair game with anything.
DeFi Don, no, you cannot borrow my GIMP mask. It's custom fit. You might stretch it out. I don't know if you got a big head.
Well, how does that fit with the beard and mustache, man? That the whole
it's cut out. There's like a hole for the beard.
Oh shit. Oh, I wanted to ask you. So I saw this post that somebody had on Kita, and let me see. They were talking about they were gonna focus more on buying Kita over Canton, and somebody in their comments was saying to here, I'll pull this up.
Well, and
so
I'll
they're
tell
saying,
you. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So they're saying, why are they buying Kita instead of Canton? And they said Kita handles digital payments with over 10 million transactions per second, 400 millisecond finality, all the built-in on-chain KYC, AML, all that stuff. And how Canton tops out around 7 transactions per second with 800,000 daily transactions in its permission setup. But Kita just bought a bank too, but yeah, CyberX was saying stack both, honestly.
Yeah.
And who was it was saying, I have no clue why someone would buy CC when it's already at a 5.6 billion valuation versus Kita, which is sitting at 146 million valuation.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people bring that up, and I think a lot of people fail to realize is that's with the current market cap of crypto. What are we at right now? It's like I'm guessing we're under 3 trillion with the way everything's been dumped.
2.925.
Yeah, 2.83. So if the total market cap of crypto goes up to like 10 trillion or 20 trillion, then that just gives a whole lot more room for all these projects to go up. If all of crypto goes up, and I know this isn't an exact math, but let's just say that, for the sake of argument, that the total market cap of crypto 5x's. Then if everything all went up together equally, and everything, would have to 5x. And so, basically, I mean, you're still going to get big pumps and things, as the market cap, total market cap of crypto grows. So it's like Yes. I mean, it feels like there's only so far some of these projects can go until, Bitcoin and everything else goes up as well. But so far, for the most part, most of crypto moves together. Most of it is, correlated. Bitcoin goes up, all the altcoins usually go up. If Bitcoin goes down, all the altcoins go down. So, I think that a lot of people need to realize that, we're below a $3 trillion market cap right now. As that overall market cap of crypto goes up, it just gives, more sky, more blue sky for these, projects to go up.
Yeah.
It's similar to people that look at Bitcoin and say, "Oh, well, Bitcoin's $84,000 roughly. Well, I'm going to go buy, what's the cheapest thing under Bitcoin? Oh, okay. Well, hey, we got Tron for 30 cents a piece. I can buy a lot more Tron than I can Bitcoin, so I'm going to buy a bunch of Tron instead of Bitcoin." And they don't understand, that, the just because the price of the token is cheaper and you can buy more of the token, it's that's not, the right, mentality to have. Because one, Tron and Bitcoin are totally different projects. Just because the price of it, I mean, that'd be like saying, I'm not going to buy Microsoft because it's already, pumped. I'm going to go buy this other software company that's a startup because it's cheaper and I'm going to make more money by doing that. That's just not how it works. So I don't know. I didn't explain that very well.
And, Canton, all their tokens are in circulation. I think Kita has half of their tokens are in circulation right now.
Yes and no. So all of the tokens that have been minted are in circulation on Canton. Yeah. There is an infinite supply. However, they are minted from the validators and those building, on Canton. They get tokens for building and contributing to, the growth of the network. And then there's the burn mechanism that we've talked about multiple times, where all of the fees that are generated from people using the network are burned. And currently, let me pull that up. I'll tell you what it's doing daily. Oh, shit. $2.77 million per day. So that's like gone up quite a bit.
Burning.
Yeah, they're burning almost $3 million worth of Canton tokens per day right now.
Ooh.
So let's take a look at where we're at with and we talked about this the other day as well, is as the network usage increases, and then more tokens are burned. And over time, less tokens are minted. So at some point, we're going to reach what's called equilibrium, to where the same amount of tokens that are minted per day is burned. And so basically, it would be kind of a net zero when it comes to inflation or deflation of the token. Now, as the network usage it continues to increase and more tokens are burned, then it's going to flip. Then it's actually going to become deflationary because more tokens are being burned than are being created. So the amount of token supply is going to start to decrease. So, that's, you need to take into account the tokenomics of these projects as well. Like with Bitcoin, there can only ever be 21 million. And, and with the halvings, the amount that can be mined is cut in half, after every Bitcoin halving. So all of these different projects have very different tokenomics. You need to understand the tokenomics when you're getting into these projects, because as we're moving into this utility market, you need to understand how the value of the token can be affected. So David always talks about this, to where you need to understand how the revenue generated, or the profit that is being generated by the project, there needs to be a mechanism to where that is, translated over to the token, because
Yeah.
otherwise there's no reason to hold the token. If,
Yep.
if there isn't any value, if there isn't any revenue that's making its way over to the token through, burns, through buybacks, things like that, or through yield bearing, like some stable coins. There's yield bearing stable coins. Simply by holding it, you are earning yield. So, that is how, that revenue, it translates over to the token holder. So these are all things that you need to understand about these tokens and projects you're holding, because if there isn't something like that in place, you're basically holding a baseball card. You're basically just a fan of that project, hoping that other people buy it to make the price go up.
Yeah, and that's why you guys were kind of going at it with the Arrow token last year, and
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah. Well, and
was,
but when he says that stuff, I mean, he's right. It's just,
yeah.
like with Arrow, they actually do buybacks. So, again, that's a whole different tokenomics. You have Arrow, the Arrow, Aerodrome platform, and they have an infinite supply of Arrow as well that can be minted. And they mint tokens, and they pay people like myself and Ellie and those of us in the community that have Arrow locks. They pay us yield for providing liquidity for these liquidity pools, so people can swap and do DeFi stuff. Now, anything that's not paid out to VE Arrow holders, they use and they max lock. So they'll take whatever's left over. They don't sell it. They don't put it out into circulation. They max lock it for 4 years and take it out of circulation. So, that is, how the tokenomics of, the Arrow token work. It's critically important that you take the time and do your due diligence to figure out how how these projects work that you're investing in. Also, you need to make sure that you do your due diligence to understand how these protocols, these platforms, like EtherFi, like Aerodrome, like Aave, you need to understand how they pay out yield. And some tokens that they call stable coins. David was talking about this today. The USD AI, it's marketed as a stable coin. It's far from it. What it's backed by is not like the US dollar or a bond or a US dollar equivalent.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily pegged to the dollar. It has a basket of assets that they invest in to basically try to maintain the value of that token. So,
Right.
just because something has USD in the name of it and they're calling it a stable coin doesn't necessarily mean that it is a a pegged US dollar, backed by the US dollar stable coin.
Yeah, what wasn't the JED token or something? The Cardano one, wasn't that backed by a basket of assets instead of just pegged to the US dollar? I think I know that I've heard of a couple that have
I
that feature,
honestly don't
but
know.
I know the whole algorithmic stablecoin
Oh
was
shit.
kind of scared, made everybody scared after the whole Luna crash.
Freaking already almost been an hour.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
so Joseph was saying that. So what do you think that Canton will hit $100?
I mean, it could. I mean, I think that the overall market cap of crypto, would need to go up. I I don't think it would happen anytime soon. I think if it became deflationary, like if it reached a point to where the network usage was burning a shitload of tokens, and more, much more than than that was being minted, that would help. I think I don't even really do freaking price predictions, so I'm not even gonna fucking play at that game. But I definitely think that it has some room to go, some room to move up. Yes,
Yeah.
Jeff, download Arc
Yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah, I should be able to get it on my other little PC. Because I have a laptop and my main PC that I do all the crypto stuff on. So I have a little backup one that I do all my music on. So I can I think it should be capable to handle it. Yeah, because I don't have any consoles because my ex had all the consoles and those were hers.
Well, there's on the game, Ellie's saying that that her safe pocket is calling you. So yeah, the on the game there's a slot in your inventory, and we've been calling it the prison pocket.
Oh yeah, Jay, my prison pocket tingling.
Yeah. We call it our prison pocket because it's where you can put loot, and if you get killed, you get to keep it. They can't take it from you. So we've been calling it our prison pocket.
Oh, the tight little pocket. Oh my god. Oh man.
Well, shit. We could probably wrap this up. I wouldn't mind grabbing some dinner and stuff before I jump back on and play a little Arc Raiders with Ellie and Jay.
Yeah, I'll have to get that set up after I feed the kitties. See if I can get it running.
Yeah, David, you said that you were going to download it too. Like, you need to download it, and then we can start a couple squads. And then if DeFi Don or Josh or somebody wants to get it, then we can have two 3-person teams.
The crypto cannons. The crypto crusaders. Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, Elise can download it as well. Well, shit. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm fucking starving, man. I'm gonna go have me some bacon wrapped jalapenos, stuffed jalapenos, and some green beans and carrots.
Oh shit, that bacon wrap jalapenos sounds really good. Ooh.
Hey, Elise, Ellie will message you and tell you about the game and where to find it.
Yeah, are you guys gonna be streaming or?
It's up to Ellie. Yeah, Ellie. Yeah, go ahead and get everything set up to stream. Once you're ready, because we might as well. If we're gonna play, we might as well continue to build your channel. So we got 33 people watching on the arena. So here in a little bit, after we all have some dinner and get set up, Ellie is going to be. You can join her channel, see Ellie play, and she'll be playing some Arc Raiders with us.
Yeah. Get on the arena, everyone. If you're on Twitter, you can sign up. Super easy to create an account. Just link your Twitter, and it's simple as that. So. Bada bing, bada boom. Bingo bongo.
All right. Well, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We appreciate all of you jumping on. It's usually we go a little bit later, but yeah, I'll be honest, I'm freaking starving, and I kind of want to play a game. So come in, watch us play a game and hang out with us. And it looks like Jay's gonna mix up a drink. Maybe I'll mix up a drink, and we're just gonna have a little bit of fun.
Hell yeah.
So have a great weekend, all. And if we don't talk to you over the weekend, we'll see you on Monday. And until next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.